Hello guys, welcome to the 25th session of the Entity Framework Code 2.0 tutorials. In this session we will learn about the compile query. Sometimes we need to use the same query again and again. In that situation, Entity Framework will build a query again for us. If there are 1000 records, then we need to generate the same query for all. However, we have only changed the parameter, which will impact on the performance. Entity Framework Code 2.0 provide a way for that. We can use the compile queries. Let's switch to the Visual Studio. I am already removed all the changes of the previous session and uncomment the DB initializer, so when we are creating the database, it will add the some dummy data in it. We will create a new action in which we will use the normal queries, and then we will convert it to the compile query. Let's create it. Public string normal query, in which I am going to create an integer array of book IDs equal to new int of 1, 2 and 3, and create a string builder in which we are going to store our all data, and create a for each loop where book ID in book IDs, and now we will retrieve the book from the database. For that, write the book equal to context dot book dot single or default, and pass the lambda expression b such that b dot id equal book id, and obtain the book title and append it to the our string builder. For that, write the data dot append line and pass the book dot title, and at the end return the data as a string. Save it and let's run it. And now I'm going to open the home/normal query. Here you can see that it written the first book, second book and third book as per the our database. Here we are use the normal query. And now I'm going to copy the entire action and convert it to the compile query. Compiled query To create the compile query, we need to use the EF.CompileQuery and pass the lingua expression for it. So I am going to write where query equal to EF.CompileQuery, and within the parameter we need to pass the query expression. Here I am going to pass the library context, name context, and the integer ID, and pass it to context dot book dot single or default. Within that, pass the lambda expression b such that b dot id equal the id that we got in the parameter. Instead of retrieving the data from the context, we just need to call the our query function. Within the parameter, we need to pass the our context and the book ID. That's it. Here is our compile query, and here we are call it from the for each loop. Let's run it. And now open the compiled query action. We receive the same output. Let's see what we learned throughout this series. Here is a normal query in which we are creating the integer array and loop through each array, and by using the single method we are retrieving the specific book and append its title. Here is the compile query. Instead of calling the single method every time in the for each loop, we have created it outside the loop. To create the compile query, we need to use the EF.CompileQuery and pass the expression. Here in the expression, I am passing the context and the ID that we want to retrieve, and by using it, we will retrieve the book. To use the compile query, we just need to write the name of the variable. Here it is a query, and pass the required parameters. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.